Coders. Today, this is it. This is it, step 39, where we start adding music to the code. And that's something that I've been looking forward to. Now, code-wise, it is extremely simple at this point, at least, because there's no sound effects, there's no volume control, there's no nothing. There's just adding music and starting it. So, but I'm very excited about that because it's a really cool change and it adds a lot to the game, of course. But it's really cool to show how easy it is, because the thing with music is that, well, there's a lot of things with music. Of course, the music itself, I'm not even talking about that, but how to implement music, you have to have a timer going and you have to have an interrupt that reads the music data, and that music data consists of notes, and it consists of timing, and it consists of instruments, and there's 3 or 4 channels on the SID, so all that information has to be read, and it has to be read in time. So that all of that is, I mean, it's not super hard, but it's something that you don't have to do because we're using something else. We're using Goat Tracker in this instance to do that for us. And I'm going to show how that works. But first, I'm going to show... I'm just going to run the game and see what happens. This is what the original code came with. Hold on. Let's run it. I have my headset on. Dead! Got it. This level is super easy as Sam. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Oh, did you find a bug? Let's just finish this level. Finish this last spider. Come on, come on. No! I didn't die. And he's dead. Cool or what? And as you may have noticed, there was a little bit of lag. So let's look at how this is added in the code. Now, we always start with looking at the... I'll take my headset off. No, I'll leave it on. We always start with looking at the data, so all it is in this case is that we include a binary. In this case, it's called gt2music.bin. gt2 is for Goat Tracker 2, and it's a bin file. That's all we know. And if we look up, and I'm going to show the... where is it? I'm going to show... let's see. The outline. I'm going to show the outline. And I'm going to look for the title screen. Looking for the title screen because I know where the code sits. There we go. We initialized the music player. It didn't even bother here to set up the constants for the VIC, but this sets the volume. Yeah, so the volume is set. This is right before the game starts, right? This is all like early address space, still setting up stuff, setting up the color, setting up the sprites, and then at the end of the setup, we call this, or we do this. We set the volume, We load 0 into the accumulator and then jump to the music player. That initializes it. Like this stuff, it's just in the little manual that comes with Go Tracker. It just says what you have to do to init and what you have to do to run it. Now, this just sets it up, but we have to call it every frame. So we have our wait frame function, which waits for the raster line to reach a certain position, and in that, when the waiting's done, so that means that we're at line F8, which is at the bottom of the screen. We do this. All we have to do is this: we call the music player +3. So that's, we can have a look at that. We can have a look at the code of the music player itself. At the start, there's just 2 jumps, and you pick the second instruction, basically, because the first one is 2 bytes. The second one sits at this location, or it's probably 3 bytes. And that's it. And you call this every frame, and it runs the music. Now, as you noticed, it's just 1 tune, and all it has to do is to play that. Obviously, if you want to play different tunes, you have to call different routines inside the music player, or you have to configure it, or load a value in a register and then call it, something like that. I don't even know yet, but we'll find that out. But this is the most simple application. Just start music, and it'll run throughout the game. And as you know, as you see, I have to do nothing. It's that simple. So I thought that maybe we could play some other tune, because and I've already tried that. As you saw, I had another call, but I wanted to show how I made that. So let's just listen to that other tune, which is an example that comes with Go Tracker. I'll run that. Normally, and I said, well, it's usual that the music player starts at an address 1000. We've chosen to do it here. Of course, it takes like 2,961 bytes in total with this piece of music. If I choose the other piece of music, which is simply another bin file, also generated by quite possibly, a newer version of Go Tracker. You noticed, and I've noticed before, that this did skip frames in the emulator at least, so maybe. So let's run this and see what happens. We got different music. It's that simple. Oh, die. Nope. Yeah, okay. Well, so, different music. I'm dead. Different music. So let's just have a look at how that works, okay? There we go. Welcome to Go Tracker. Now, this is a piece of software to make music, and I've looked into that. I can see we have 3 tracks. We have a wave table and a pulse table. We have a filter table. The attack and decay stuff, all that. I don't know how it works. I have a vague understanding, but I don't know how to make music very well. There are other people who can do that. There are people who can do that very well, actually. So, but this is the reason why you need a musician to make music, because they're just better at it. But they don't have to program. I think someone like Rob Hubbard actually did the programming as well, and he made his music using his own tool, so he could make his own instruments and enter the music in his own style. maybe even input it or translate it. I don't know how they do it. So I have extra respect for the programmers who do their own graphics and do their own design and do their own programming and do their own music. That is amazing. I don't even know the keys, but I'm going to load a song, and I do that with F10 apparently. So F10 loads a song, and there's examples here. Goat tracker, examples. I'm going to let's do a Transylvanian song. Yeah, let's do that. I don't even know how to play it. Space? No? Yes? Play from the beginning. Okay. Oh. Oh, that was the original example. Oh, how do I stop it? Don't even know. Stop playing F4. Okay, so we're not going to pick that. We'll pick something else. Let's do Ghost Trackers. How about that? Oh, yeah. Listen to that, man. That is amazing. That is amazing. Okay, so what I have to do is export this, right? And I did I did this once. Okay, so it's F9 to do that. I'm very eager to learn this tool and learn the keys, but there's a couple of options. Buffered SID options that I can choose. Buffered SID writes. I don't know what that means. Sound effect support. So I suppose sound effects are shorter pieces of music, basically, and I have to choose one and then call the. So this is probably special support for that. Volume change support. Many games have volume support, but on the Commodore 64, I don't really know games that allow the user to change the volume. So that might be interesting. Store author info, use 0-page ghost registers. Yeah, no, I don't know. Disable optimization, no. Full SID buffering, no. Okay, it's fine. We'll just accept that. Select the starting address. So we want to have it at 3000. These days, code is usually relocatable. In this case, I don't think it was, but they're allowing us this option to set it to an address, so do that. Now, this is important. It uses 2 0-page addresses. They have to be unused in our own code because we might mess things up. Now, we don't use these addresses, so that's fine, but I could choose to use different ones, but these are fine, FC, FD. And they want to know how I want to export it. I'll say bin, that's fine. Enter ghosttrackers.bin. Yeah, what we'll do is we'll write it directly to our code. There, supernatural, and we'll call it ghosttrackers.bin. And it's done. So I move this out of the way. Maybe I just close it. And now I should be able to say, and then, oh, well. Say just ghosttrackers.bin. Save it and run it. Yeah, baby. Huh? Woo! I love this. This is great. Here they come. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's still sort of, still a bit sensitive. This music is great. I don't know. Kill this spider. But this makes for a great game, doesn't it? Having music like that and having it that easy. That is amazing. I love it. So this is really all that I have to show at this moment, but we'll be adding sound effects. We'll be adding different types of music, because what's cooler than having an intro music and then having game music and all that? So we're going to look at that as well. I just bear with me, and I'm going to load the game into the debugger. And then just have a quick look at the code that this brings with it, because this one just added 5K or 5,000 bytes. So we really have to. We can't just go willy-nilly with the code. We have to make sure that we don't make this too long, because if I look at the output with this, the game is 25K, just about. Now we have 40K for the code in total, so we're still safe. But this is, we have to keep an eye on it. But let's just have a look at the debugger. Yeah, so that's gonna do that. It's loaded it. I'm not gonna run it just yet. I could, but I'm gonna go to 3000. See, and this is where the Go Tracker code sits. So that the init does this. It jumps to 30C9, which is just that. I don't know what that. It stores the accumulator value, which was 0, in that address, and then does an RTS, and then it goes here. And this is what I call on each loop 30CD. I think this, yeah. So it does stuff. We'll not get into that, but this debugger is a great tool. Although this works, but now I can. I'm mesmerized by the music. I won't go into the debugger tool. It's a nice tool for Commodore 64. I don't think it's really... It helps in debugging, but it does not do code debugging. And C64 Studio does source code debugging, which is way, way more valuable than anything else. Although the debugger is super valuable in looking at memory and looking at what the raster interrupt and all the registers and what the entire emulator or the hardware is doing. It's a great tool, but it misses one thing, and that's source code debugging. So anyway, I digress. This is music with Go Tracker 2. I'm sure there are other tools as well, so let me know what you think. And that's it for this step. And we're on to step 40 already. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.